And I really do think that PuckChamp, they have to kind of play perfectly. They have to get a really good start for the Axe. Desperate has to have pretty much all successful exorcisms to pressure buildings. Otherwise, yeah, I think they're just going to start falling behind in that department.
We will have to see as game number 1 is getting going here, and definitely feels like you could see that aggression coming out now from the side of Winstrike as they are smoked up.
Yep, look at this.
Hoping to grab themselves a first blood.
Great first blood lineup. You look at the lineup of PuckChamp, not strong whatsoever at level 1. They have just some awkward spells. Winstrike's all stuns. Easy ways to get onto somebody. And PuckChamp, are they prepared for this? They don't look very prepared.
I would say they're definitely not prepared as they'll open up, they'll stun, they get that negative armor, and Ribble's gonna have a great time starting off here.
All right. That is the perfect hero to get the kill.
Oh, yes.
There's a ward on the high ground, too, and they're pinging it. They might actually know that that one's up there, too. So that's a great hit, and I love when teams do this. You know how strong you are level 1, you assert your dominance, get the scouting out, get a ward down aggressively, too. And now you can go back up, maybe even get yourself a secondary kill because you have all these stuns.
And the way that they're rotating already. Do have a bit of vision, though, so they can see that they are getting into position on the side of Winstrike. Looks like they'll probably just back off. I don't think they want to run into this fight anymore. At least not this early.
No. So it's just going to be a 2-for-2 rune, though. But yeah, we'll see how it all ends up coming down. But I think it's going to be problems. It really is. It's going to have to be such good positioning from Axe to cover this Phoenix, to protect the eggs, because eggs are the big thing, the big damage reliant inside Chronosphere. And there's a Snapfire. And not only that, there's a Lina too. So it's like a double counter for the Phoenix. That's why I'm really liking the way Winstrike has set themselves up in this draft.
Yeah, it was pretty surprising to me that they picked up that Phoenix like very, very early on. And there's just so many solutions, right? You talked about it. The fact Snapfire for right now has been constantly picked as, you know, the egg scrambler because of the fact you get those rapid shots off. And then, of course, you know, the Lina is definitely one of those heroes that also is able to provide those fast hits to take down the egg.
Yeah, I think that's why Pano was like, just like, wow, that Lina is like a jack of all trades. It takes all the boxes that they need. Tower push, burst, ways to kill the egg as well. This is the lane we have to watch because this one is going to be a bit problematic. Okay, they actually set up the lanes like this. Okay, I thought for sure we'd see Phoenix plus Axe. It's a tested staple that people have ran so many times. Hunger plus Spirits. You can't last hit creeps when you are just attack speed slowed, and that hunger is always great. But they're deciding to just make the Willow more of that priority for the 4 rather than the 5. I guess it comes from team to team how dependent that is going to be.
Perhaps it's the idea, too, that when you start dishing out that damage with that little shredder, you're able to go and just go into Shadow Realm where you can't be targeted, maybe? Just a little bit more of an insurance policy, or?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's kind of what they're going for here, too. And I guess it's going to be more farm priority on Willow, but I really hope that's not what they do, because I don't think that does anything versus a hero like Medusa. Like, usually when you see the Willows getting more farm priorities because they can set up like these solo kills, as this could be a kill onto Ducalis.
Yeah, I think that they want to dedicate themselves to this. Yeah. Yep, that's definitely a kill. No Icarus dive, of course, on that Phoenix.
I don't think this lane can pressure Dusa either. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this setup here from the side of PuckChamp either. I really think they should have just put the Willow top and you put the Phoenix down bottom, because then you can actually slow down Medusa's farm. I think with this one, you can't slow down Medusa's farm whatsoever. She's going to free farm down here, where this is the lane that they have to win in the game. Yeah, very concerned for them. And I think Phoenix is just super, super weak in the lane, especially with a hero like Void. You don't really provide too much. This is quite rough, I think, as a start here.
I feel like something that might have been able to provide some sort of protection for Krylat perhaps would have been nice as well, throwing in that top lane, because, I mean, there's only so much a Phoenix can do, and Void is not one of those cores that wants to get aggressive. He just wants to hang back, hit these creeps, occasionally, you know, time walk damage off, but at least with, like, a Dark Willow on that lane, you'd have, like, Brambles or something, right? So you could potentially slow them down if they start to get too aggressive.
Yeah, and you can actually like survive. Sure, you have to like watch out for like ground stuns and stuff like that, but you're at least able to secure the farm a little bit better as a Willow. Huntsman eating some little bit of harassment, but he'll have a salve to be able to regen back up. And yeah, they're not going to pressure Dusa. Mars is free farming and has 7 denies, and they're probably going to get another kill right here.
Yeah, Mitch will be able to get this one here, and the tips are getting dropped.
As I feel like they should. They're going to win all 3 lanes with this setup. Maybe a little bit of a trade-off, but I think Lina comes out with a tiny bit of an edge. Jesus, Desperate. Careful.
I guess the one thing that, you know, is going really nicely for PuckChamp is the fact that if Vrabel decides that he wants to make a rotation, right, he toasts to the top lane or bottom lane, wherever, puts pressure down. If you have that Exorcism online for Desperate, he can try to pressure the tower, right?
Yeah, he can, but he can also just die, right? There's so much stun and burst, so I'm really scared for this Death Prophet. I feel like the lanes are just going to start getting very disastrous very early. Void's going to start getting more pressure onto him. And yeah, Phoenix just free kills. You have 1 armor. Mars loves playing versus 1 armor heroes. Rebuke just does so much damage in lane. And when your Medusa's free farming, unpressured in lane, that's always just, you know, that's always just saying that there's something problematic in the game coming out. Especially if you don't have like, especially if you don't have like this frontline 5 position here, right? We've seen like these Clockwork, Tusks, etc. being positioned to protect the Medusa, but this time he has a Snapfire, so it's in theory just a weaker lane overall, but they're not able to take advantage of it. Mela's actually just is going to constantly get right-clicked here from this double range instead.
I mean, they just walk around these brambles every single time. It's just too difficult for them to try to get them to hold in place. Because they are able to kite like this, and he's
got a cut.
He's got it. That's pretty much all that he's got left here for options, as Yamich is attracting some attention here from Krylat. Oh. He misses that spike. But he's drawing them away from the creeps. I don't understand why they're chasing so much. Manless 2, Cookie hop forward on one of the creeps. Phantoman's dishing out a lot of damage here. Don't think he's quite going to have enough damage to go and take him out, but it's enough to bully him at least. Yeah. All 3 lanes looking real good. Lina free farm, Mars free farm, Void getting little to no CS up top. He actually can't even walk up to the wave. 14 denies on Cheshire Cat. He's going the double bracer build, just super high base damage, high regen too versus this Phoenix and Void. They can't touch him. They can maybe kill Yamich if he steps super out of position, but even that is very unlikely. Definitely getting a bit concerning here for the side of PuckChamp. It's, what is it? Do we still have like the percentage on the win rates when you end up losing all of your lanes? It's very bad though. I know that at the very least, but it's interesting to, you know, consider how do they get themselves back in here as Phantoman was sitting very, very low. Not quite enough damage to take him down. Oh yeah, he's got like nothing down here. He's just gonna have to hide for some time. So Melas, he'll at least be able to finish up his Vanguard at the least here for the side of PuckChamp. He'll have that at a good timing. But my god, yeah, Void's getting no CS. He's still at like 20. Look at these denies, look at this Mars. He's just taking over the lane completely. This is the kind of CS that we need to see on this Axe, honestly. Yes, for the side of PuckChamp. This is very, very concerning. They need to have that good early start for themselves so that they don't start falling behind versus Dusa with their lineup. As Lina has hit 6, gonna just return to mid lane. Desperate. He's getting his rune checked for him. Nice move from Astral, at least to secure that illusion room. Same thing with Ducalis to check it out. I guess here's the question. Now that we have the level 6s online for both the mids, where do we see our first like real skirmish come out? I think Desperate should just hit bottom. Just pop Exorcism and make as soon as you get to the tower. You have to start pressuring Dusa, otherwise you're just asking for a disaster. So seeing him making the move around down here right now, it is spotted. There is a ward, so Diracho likely to just pour it away after he tries to push the wave. They glyph the wave too, so this is a tell right now. Diracho should know this is coming soon. There's gonna TP out. But he's caught. It's rooted in place. The call. Got plenty of damage down here to take down Diracho, so a good move here from PuckChamp will be able to put pressure on this tower, and that's also time that Dusa is not farming. But like we said, you make that rotation. And the stun. The TP. Ducalis? Ducalis is teleporting for his death if he's not careful. Oh my god. Actually has to salve during the dive or he might die. Had to pop those 1 charges too. Yep. That was very close. But they get the tower. So the rotation from Desperate, it does work out in the first movement. And that's what they need to do. The boots do get taken out from Ducalis, and he has to be careful. He knows the line is on the side there, and Rebel is very kill hungry. But a good hit. Nice move from Desperate to at least start to enable, start to slow down the Dusa, get your Axe to a good start. And we have seen, you know, didn't talk about it, but Astral, he's been stacking. So Axe will be enabled. We see a nice stack here, we see a nice stack around the Ancients. So if he's able to get a decent blink timing, he can look to pressure, especially this Lina, because Lina also doesn't have the biggest saves behind her either. So as we said, Axe is going to be super crucial for this early mid-game of PuckChamp. Why is Desperate just hanging out? I guess just trying to trade off, get some more levels online here for the Phoenix? Yes, I think that's exactly what it is. He knows Axe can jungle. Astral's going to suffer a little bit because of it, but they want to get the combo up as fast as possible. They need Egg to be able to fight back into it. But the Egg, as we've said, is very countered. And Void, you know, they can't lane top anymore. I think Void has accepted that. Same thing with the Phoenix. They're just going to have to probably give up the tower if they don't look to bring the Exorcism up there. That's Cheshire Cat. Has phase boots, double bracer. Yamich is already positioned behind in case of a rotation. Once you take this tower, don't you just rotate Dusa towards the triangle and then up in this area as well? Yeah. They do get a haste rune on Desperate. In 30 seconds, we're going to have to see a big move. Every single Exorcism has to be successful for the side of PuckChamp. Pressure being placed here on the top tower. You see Dekalis is just going to try to throw some of those flame spirits out, try to slow them down, maybe clean up the creep wave a bit, but...
He could just die if he steps in too far.
Yamich is waiting very happily over here in the tree lines. Well, Rainbow just gets a kill on Melees. Okay, all right.
Oh, he showed his face-bound bottom.
Yeah,
Very
now they're
risky
just,
place.
Look at that, they're just backing off now.
Now they're going to give the Snapfire to the lane, so his level 6 will be online, finishing up Medallion very soon. And the team fight for PuckChamp is not going to be able to match this. Sure, they have Chrono, sure, they have Exorcism, but you have to get into the back lines, and that's going to be quite problematic. Let's see if they can get the invasion. They're looking for that triangle, as you'd mentioned. That's where the Dusa is going to be.
There she is. Do they have the damage, though, is a big question here.
They should.
Gotcha. All right, immediately with the Exorcism, making sure that this is very efficient. They've got the Cursed Crown, they've got the Brambles. It's going to take a bit, though, and that's a bit concerning, as Duracho almost managing to get out. But we've got the Exorcism, and now the immediate rotation over here to this mid lane. Although the TVs are coming out. Desperate went a bit far here. Just be careful. They have the LSA. They're going to lower that armor. They just need one more hit. They'll take Desperate. That Exorcism. Not as efficient as they would have liked here, as Cheshire Cat pinning over the Willow to the tree line here. Follow up with the stun. No arena needed. It's a dead Astral.
Too ambitious.
Oh, and Dekalis is still here. All right. Rabel on the hunt. Not gonna be able to quite get his hands on him. He does have the Yules, actually.
Oh.
This is usually where you pause and you say, all right, guys.
Oh, hell yes.
You don't want to do this.
I love when they start just spamming all these chat wheels. Oh, they got such a good... I think they should have just been satisfied with the kill and not tried to swoop behind you. Try to go for tower pressure, because now they're, you know,
went too far.
They get a great kill, but it's just a kill. Like, it doesn't really turn into any objective taking it. So yeah, it ends up just hurting them, because it's two committals too, right? It's the Chrono and the Exorcism. I don't even know if they... I'm thinking if they even needed the Chrono, because they had Exorcism, they had the Willow there, and it was a haste rune on Death Prophet. I think it might have been just a bit of an overcommittal, and now they don't have ults. The side of Winstrike has most of their ults up. They did use the Snapfire Kisses a little bit off the mark there, but yeah, now next fight, they're not going to be able to battle at all on PuckChamp, because they did double utilize those ults. And they get the Yules, and this will be a free one.
That's a very dead Phoenix, as they chase them fairly far behind the tower here, and
whoa.
I don't know. Oh, okay. Cheshire Cat was like, are you really gonna go and TP to this? All right, but we'll end up, you know, burning the arena.
But tower secured.
But yeah. I guess I'm concerned if they don't use the Chronosphere, like you said. You do have the haste rune over on the Death Prophet, but then does she chase too far? Because you saw how much damage was necessary to take down.
It was.
They might have just overextended.
And yeah, it might have just been an overall overextension, but that right there proves a problem immediately. When you see they have to put both of the ults to even take out the Deuce, it's so early on and they have to do stuff like that. Axe has his Blink Dagger slowed down a decent amount too from that Death Bottom. Map control is going to start to dwindle very quickly. Nice Winstrike, they're on the hunt. The combo, as we love to see it, you know, the finger plus the Laguna. Don't cross the laser beams. They just delete heroes when they do cross the laser beams, so.
But yeah, we are going to see the Blink Dagger soon, and I would like to see Melees and Astral perhaps like group up together, start to get like little pickoffs if they're able to. My concern is that this Dusa, how are you going to slow her down without taking a lot of your team over there to attack?
Also, it's like, it's not the best kill combos unless they're either isolated away from like a creep wave or in the middle of a creep wave for Axe to get all the spins. So it's either you have to get the Willow to connect perfectly with her ult, or you have to get the Axe to get several spins, because as the panel mentioned, damage is going to be a pretty big issue on the side of PuckChamp throughout most of the stages of the game. And this is an Axe who's rushed the Blink, had stacks for himself, and he's still behind the Mars. This Mars has a Blink, Phase Boot, double Bracer. So he's way more enabled on top of that. He's actually been able to do damage on top of all of it too, without just relying on a Blink initiation.
I mean, that's what happens when you get a couple kills early on in lane and you just aren't able to, you know, put that pressure down.
That's good. It's just great planning from Winstrike, really. As now Medusa's starting to hit triangle, gonna be able to farm way faster than Avoid. And let's see what PuckChamp does. They've got ults at the ready. All the both supports level 6. Axe, Blink Dagger, Void. Don't know if he wants to come join the fights just yet. Even though he has Chrono, probably wants to show up toward the ends of it. And Desperate still doesn't have Yules, so no protection for this Death Prophet if she does get stunned.
Smoke on smoke action here as PuckChamp.
Ooh.
Just twirling around this eye spot. They're not gonna find anyone. Do you see Pontaman perhaps over in the mid lane, but...
They see Desperate.
Oh, Rainbow, double damage. Doesn't quite land the LSA. So the arena gets used over on the backlines. Melee's looking for the opening. Does manage to get the taunt up here over onto Lina. Ducalis going for the egg. The fear coming out. They should be able to, yeah, they'll take down Rebel.
Okay.
And they'll take down Ducalis. Cookie hop forward for Pantherman. He is looking very dead as well as Krylat shows up at the last minute. So it's a good exorcism. They should be able to go and put some damage on the tower now.
Winstrike played themselves. He missed the stun. The Lina Yules the spear combo. That was not the Death Prophet's Yules. That was his teammates that made them whiff the entire combo. So I feel like Winstrike actually just gave PuckChamp that entire play because of just missing their spells completely. But PuckChamp do get a nice little wraparound. At the very least, hopefully they can finish this tower for themselves. The exorcism's done though. And now kisses are back.
I need the opening, the spear to the tower. Melee's, he's just immediately obliterated. It's Krylat now. Time walking away. Pantherman chasing down over on Astral. I don't believe they have the means to catch him though.
I think PuckChamp should be very, very happy at least with this, the small gain that they got from the rotation, because I feel like they honestly should have just gotten wiped there. I feel like they got quite lucky just from Winstrike making some big slip-ups, like stun, whiffed. Lion went for the wrong way. Yamich just went for the left side. Yules is his enemy. Spear misses, and then it's just a disaster because they did whiff all these spells because Yamich didn't even get the connection on stun either onto the axe. So did set them up to get kind of just ran at there from PuckChamp. Some mistakes from Winstrike being punished.
Yeah, but PuckChamp's got to be pretty happy about that. Gives them a little bit more breathing room.
They need it.
Although I will say that, you know, all this is going on, you do have a Faceless Void who shows up at the end and could be hitting creeps, could be trying to, you know, put more pressure on the map, so to think, but...
And Duracho's just free farming during all of it, too. Has died the 2 times, but not the biggest deals for Medusa as you catch up so quickly.
It was so much committal for him, too. That's the other thing. You know, they committed the Exorcism, they committed a, you know, Chronosphere. These are not cheap ganks coming out from the side of PuckChamp.
They're looking to make a move, though. I think this ward that they placed deep inside the near the Radiant Tier 2 did spot the Lina running bottom, so they're looking to catch her really quickly. Rebel takes out the creep wave a bit too fast, though, and will be able to get away. Just going to be going straight BKB, it looks like, on the Lina. Yules, BKB, just rushing out to be able to block out most of the damage that we do. So sure, it's a lot of physical that will be coming out from Exorcism, but then he doesn't have to worry about any of the control.
Ooh, the blink, the spear immediately over onto the Death Prophet. Do they have the damage? Yes, they do. They got a finger with a Desperate's name on it. Nice combo here from Krylat. Be able to use that Sun Ray, and they'll go and pop the egg as well. So Pantherman most likely going to fall. Melee's now jumping forward here with the taunt. Egg will pop. They should be able to take down the Mars next. So Rebel now is left very alone and is forced to just hightail it back to his side of the river.
Beautiful chrono. Krylat in the right position, right at the right time. Ducalis there to back it up to with level 3 Sunray. Very nice setup for a team fight. Can they transition it? Their Death Prophet is still dead. Winstrike, they're all set up in the area to defend their tower. So it does look like it's a bit of a problem for them to still get the push on since their DP did die.
This is the Mid-Tower Diaries, day number 4, it feels like at this point. They've been trying to go after this tower for quite a while now, and they're just getting some nice team fights, but they're not able to take objectives.
No, and with that committal, with Chrono, with Egg used as well, very tough for you to actually get to the Deuce. So sure, you have Death Prophet ulti, but Desperate doesn't want to use it right now. He's so close to level 12 on this DP. Wants to get that before he does pop Exorcism. He's going to go Hood, so he's just doubling down to have any type of protection versus all this heavy magic burst, but it's mixed. There's a lot of magic and physical on Winstrike, and hey, I think we've seen this a billion times now. Snapfire in the Roche, no way.
Look at them immediately popping out over here, wanting to make sure that the cutoff right into the cookie hop. That is a dead Ducalis.
He doesn't even check before walking out.
All right, they get the call out though. Follow up with the Exorcism. They might be able to go and burst down the Mars. It's looking pretty good here as Cheshire Cat will fall. A couple of these kisses tossed out, but they do manage to get the fear off over onto the side of Winstrike. Though, perhaps they went a little bit too far here. That is a dead Phoenix. That is indeed a dieback. Krylat looking for the opening, Desperate. Will be able to just get thrown up into the air here using the Yules coming out from Rebel. And PuckChamp deciding, all right, we're going to back off. We've got Pantherman back here. We can perhaps get a kill off on the support at the very least as they'll go. They use that Bedlam, and down will go Pantherman.
But it's an Exorcism used for not
a fight,
not great fight. No. Winstrike can just reset now, too. They know that Chrono's down. They know that, I mean, Phoenix Egg is back up.
Yeah, look
but
at Rebel.
They know that the big ones are down.
No. Not going to be able to cancel that TP. But to go back to one of your earlier things that you were talking about, you know, the Death Prophet picking up the hood, that's the problem with the Death Prophet in this lineup. Usually you have some sort of a save. You've got an Oracle. You've got something to keep her alive to, especially when you've got this much burst coming out from the enemy team.
And I'm so surprised, honestly. Ducalis, they just walk over without even checking the obvious ward. That ward's been there for half the duration already, too. They don't even check with a sentry when they're going to contest a Roche. That's asking to just die as a 5 position, so does get punished quickly, and back into Roche they go, since all those ults are down. They don't even give the Dusa the Aegis, because they know Dusa is probably not dying anymore in this game. Just give it a Rebel. He's the only one at risk of dying. He has a BKB, 4K gold lead. Starting to get really hard here for
Oh dear, this Willow. Wrong part of the woods there, friends, as they have plenty of ways to go and burst down Astral without actually
And they get the
having to
scan.
target. Yeah, they're hunting for melees here. He's trying to juke around here on the tree line. Dragon Slave coming out, doesn't quite connect. They still don't have the vision. Does have that blink online, so melees probably gonna be able to survive this as long as he doesn't show. Creep Wave will walk by.
Dude, Rebel knows.
They still want him.
Rebel knows. Look at this.
Look at, he's hunting him.
Oh.
Oh, they even used the courier for no, did they?
They didn't
The other
consider
courier?
the line
Other
courier?
They should be able to see it.
They saw him for a sec. Now the other courier. Oh.
What's
they see
happening?
him.
Winstrike?
They know.
Melees is just playing the biggest game of tag ever here.
They got Yules.
Running into the creep wave, the Yules. Look, the teleports are coming out now from Yamich. It does have that blade mail, so Ravel does have to be a little bit careful, but they're just going to wait it out. Nice and calm, take a little bit of that mana away from him as they have the Laguna, and they've got the clicks.
That was sick. They just kept. They knew. They
Look
just
at the
knew that he
couriers
was still
just-
down in there. Yeah,
That's a mini game right there, Fogged.
that was really nicely done there by Winstrike. 14-8, 5K lead. Dusa free farming triangle. Aghanims 3/4 of the way there. And of course gets a Grove Bow. Just, you know, of course it just has to happen always for these ranged carries, I feel. They still do have, you know, Krylat is still farming pretty decently. SNY plus the Mask of Madness is not bad, but they don't have the damage in the Chronosphere, as we keep saying. They have to get this, like, perfect egg in the back lines, and even then, into Dusa, it's going to be such a tough task to actually bring her down with the backup that she has.
Especially as you consider the fact that they're just getting tankier over
Yes,
on
they
the side
are.
of Winstrike, so...
And at some point, just a snake into a chain stun, and your Void's just dead. Because we've seen how potent this Aghanims really is on Medusa at this point. And level 15 is hit already. That super OP talent that I think absolutely needs to get nerfed. Because if you look at the way that the actual ability works, look at how much it increases. The maximum thing is 20% mana game. The talent gives 35%. Like, it's actually so crazy. I think that's one of the things that probably needs to get just touched down a little tiny bit.
That's been there a while now, too. And they did adjust it a tiny bit, didn't they?
Yeah.
But it
At some point,
clearly
yeah,
needs
but
a little bit more.
It's really, really
Too good.
strong. It's just too good with the combo.
Right.
The synergy that you get with the Aghanims, and then you get the Shard as well. It all just, you just have so much mana to work with. You hit one person with the snake, you get like 600, 700 mana back.
It's always fun when you're watching cast and you're just like, oh, she's very low, and then all of a sudden, bam, she just has all of her mana.
I gotta say though, infinitely better than when it used to steal mana, which was absolutely horrific because your Tidehunter would run in or about to Ravage,
Yeah,
you'd get hit by a
nothing.
snake, and then you just had a mana from one snake, so.
But now you get to, you know, as the game gets later and later, Lion's able to be Magic Immune and just steal your mana, so.
Yeah. Or in this case, could give mana to his Medusa. I don't think we'll get to level 20 points. I think this game is going to end quite soon as Winstrike's hitting every timing. Ags Dusa, as we said, is
Krylat?
online.
Phantoman walking right over here into
Oh.
the Faceless Void. They do look at these Power Ranger TPs coming out. Melees. All right, there it is. There's the arena. They'll spin them over to place, and they'll get the hold off over on the side, but they've got the burst
Desperate's
damage as
gone.
they just take down Desperate. There's no exorcism now for this Chronosphere or any of them now. Again, that Yule's coming up. The stun on top of everything else. They should be able to take down Melees. They'll already take down Krylat over in the back line as Winstrike coming in with these rainbow TPs.
Can't even kill a single hero. Their Phoenix isn't even with them in the attempt. An absolute disaster for PuckChamp. As Winstrike nicely prepared. It is so quick. They get the Spirit connection, and then we saw, you know, this is a Death Prophet with little to no save behind her.
Uh-oh.
The laser beams come out.
Speaking of no save, it's looking like a very dead burb.
0-7 on the 5 position Phoenix.
You just can't do anything this game. It's just too hard. You've got a lot of counters. You've got, you know, your lane, which wasn't super strong.
Yeah, I'm just so surprised that they did end up trying to make it that 5 position because it is so susceptible to all this minus armor, that physical damage, the control as well. As Suns fan looks with approval.
You can almost hear him talking about how disgusted he is now. No.
I mean, probably. Then he'd start talking about poop, so we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, or diet soda.
Or diet soda.
One of those.
That's true. Everything's online. I mean, Winstrike, they have all the tools now to just close out the game pretty soon. Even Pipe, as you said. You know, these spells get stronger a little bit on the side of PuckChamp, but all these items that Winstrike starts to get, this tankiness they start to get, there's already humongous damage issues on the side of PuckChamp, and now there's just pretty much no way of killing these cores. There we go. Ags plus the shard is up.
Dota2, he's just so strong right now.
Yep.
Aegis does get reclaimed, but I don't think they really care. They have not been able to secure themselves kills in a while now for the side of PuckChamp. And you saw, you know, with that Chronosphere in the bottom lane, it took everything to try to get enough damage off, and even then, it ended up backfiring on them because the Death Prophet was stuck in the Chrono, and you have just too much damage, the burst damage coming out from these two supports alone.
Yeah, and even though, you know, you had your hood on the Death Prophet, she still needs to, like, a different way to protect herself. She's going to go for BKB, but same kind of issues. There's so much mixed damage on Winstrike, and yeah, they have a clear path to victory. They know exactly what they're doing. This on PuckChamp, they're looking quite lost.
Smoke up over on the side of Winstrike, hoping somebody's gonna get...
Krylat.
Oh, Krylat, the immediately blink forward. Sunray coming out from Tukaz, trying to keep him alive here as they'll follow up, though, with the arena. They need to keep chain stunning him, as
Good
Melee
call.
does jump into the back lines, though. He has that blade mail online, but Dota2 is here, and he does not care about that blade mail. Zarable will get himself that kill, and this should turn into a bit more of a push.
High ground defense might be still a little strong. Sure, they're not worried about, like, maybe dying, but it's you overextend. There still is, you know, the egg, the chrono, the DP ulti, so they're gonna probably split up here, just get a farm up out on the map, just trap them inside of the base for some time.
I'm sure they're not feeling pressured over the
there's
side
no
of
pressure.
Winstrike at all.
No. Level 18 on Dyrachyo. Yeah, it's just going to be going for Aeon Disc, so they're already getting the solutions for if they do get in the Chronosphere on these supports as well. Just clean planning, really. Winstrike, they know exactly, like we said, they know exactly what they're doing. Rebel even going for like a Dragonlance build, going into like AC on this Lina, just going for some like funner items because he knows that, I think that he just knows that he can just do this type of build this game.
I mean, the second that they step foot outside their base, they just immediately get blown up, it feels like,
Yep.
almost every single time. You know, Krylat, he's one of those few people that, you know, is able to kind of make some plays around the map, try to farm out some of those waves, but...
I don't think, I'm going to say
I know
this
you
one
don't
on
like
a
that.
live broadcast, by the way. I do not think that this one should be allowed. This looks a little bit too, sure, it doesn't look like a remote mine. There's arrows pointed, but that's, come on. It's glance value. People look at things about glance. If you see that in a game and you're playing versus techies, you know, it could mess you up, so not a fan of that one, but it is cute. I mean, it is just a funny approach of going for the sprays, but yeah. Winstrike just chilling. Farming up. Dyrachyo almost got Scotty.
I mean, at this point, you just wait for the next Roche.
Yep.
Wait for the next Roche, make sure you've got that advantage, and then start sieging again. But you can see the way that PuckChamp is just grouped up super tightly. They're trying to just farm out of their base, trying to get up some sort of vision or take down vision.
There's just, they have to stick together because they could just lose so quickly in one big team fight. As Winstrike just sticks together themselves too, waiting on a high ground. If a fight comes to them, they'll take it. On the high ground, as we said, it's still a little bit dicey because you are playing versus all those big ultis. Even though you are so far ahead, they're just playing it safe. Playing it smart, finishing up these next items. Rebel almost has AC, as we said. I think Yamich now has his Aeon, not quite yet, almost has his Aeon Disc finished too, so ticking all the boxes. Void has BKB, so a bit safer if he does want to jump in and get some Chronos. And this feels like it could be one of the last moments for PuckChamp to actually look to win a fight. They have to get a huge one, though. They have to catch, like, all 5 heroes, it feels like, inside this Chrono.
That is a tall order.
Yep.
And on top of that, like, Desperate has to make the most out of this Exorcism. It is so incredibly important that we get off a full duration Exorcism, and he doesn't get bursted down. It's just so hard.
It really
so
is.
Hard.
Oh, they actually even take the, okay, so most people are taking the Mystic Stake talent on this Medusa, on the Medusa lately because of how good the synergy is. He just takes the Stone Gaze duration, I think, because, like, if he gets the Stone Gaze off, the fight is over.
Right.
If he doesn't get burst before he gets it off, it's literally just a one fight for them, so. The double stone is always fun, too, if you're able to, if they do face you twice. You can get stoned twice from the hero, so you're gonna be dealing with snakes that are stoning you, the hero that's stoning you, and yes, it is definitely tough as, Winstrike, pause. Roche is back up, so that is definitely the next main target. They don't have vision too much around the area right now on the side of Winstrike. They actually put most of their wards on the bottom side, which is a bit interesting. Usually when you're playing around
Definitely,
Roche,
yeah.
you want to put that vision over there. So PuckChamp does have a slight advantage, at least in vision in that area.
I mean, they did sweep through, though. I don't know if they took some of the wards down.
I think they got the one. Yeah, it looks like they did get one of them, but...
But that's... is this going to be our next big fight? Is this going to be the make it or break it kind of fight coming up here?
Yeah, and it's... Like I said, I really feel like they need a 5-man chrono. And Death Prophet has to be perfectly lingering on the outsides. If they get initiated on the at all, if PuckChamp gets initiated on at all, they're going to just lose the fight immediately.
You got to look at this. Starts off. It just catches over here.
It's perfect from Cheshire Cat. He just literally catches Desperate before he's able to Yule's dodge the spear, or before he's able to actually Yule's the Mars. So he just gets chain stunned, and it's a perfect fight from Winstrike.
All right, looks like we're resumed back into the game.
They know where PuckChamp is positioned right now. This mid ward actually just spotted the Death Prophet walking up. So they should be aware that all of PuckChamp is on that high ground.
Look at the way that they're positioning here. Dota2 immediately taking down, and
now he knows.
Just like that, the smoke is over.
Yep. And Dota2, I don't think they have the damage even to burst through him. If he's inside that chrono, he's just gonna live. He is so damn tanky. He's got the pipe as well, so he's got that magic resistor plus the 400 heal on top. And a snake will come out. You know, inside that chrono, someone's gonna cast a spell targeted on him, and a snake will come out and full heal him, or full mana. Let's see.
Forward here, Krylat.
He has to be. I can't believe he showed there. If they get jumped, they're just dead on PuckChamp.
Well, there's a lot of heroes over on this backline. Melee, though. Look at Dota2. He just has no fear at all. Okay, he does end up, getting called here by Melees, and they'll get off the Exorcism over on the backline. Curious Crowd to jump forward into the backline. So here from Cheshire Cat, they're just going to go and burst down the Willow. There it is. They'll follow up with the Chronosphere. Do they have the damage, though? That is the big question that we keep asking ourselves, as it looks like they'll be able to take down Dota2 this time around. Cheshire Cat is silenced up. Melee's jumping over onto the backlines. He's managed to taunt up the supports and the leader, but he gets fingered down here. Rabel getting the final hit off. That BKB coming in handy, but he does end up getting bashed several times here. These ghosts hot on their heels. Look at Yamich. Look at his positioning. He's going to try to protect Rabel if he can just survive long enough here. Does manage it. The Exorcism, though, over on the side here, is about to go down, so they will not have it for this Roche Pit.
They're going to try, though. The Exorcism actually did great damage, and even the Sunray did a little bit more than I thought it would, too, just to focus down the Deuce. A nice jump in the back there from Cheshire Cat, but wow, PuckChamp actually able to bring down the Deuce. Taking out Roche, though.
Back in, though. Cheshire Cat immediately needs to be careful. Is silenced up. Curse Crown does indeed proc. Rabel, though, over here on the backlines, trying to dish out that damage. Terrorize does come out here from the Willow. So they'll end up losing Cheshire Cat. Phantoman, too, on the back foot now, trying to run away. Yamich and Rebel standing nearby. The buyback now coming out from the Mars. They don't want to allow them to get this Roche. They know that the Exorcism is down, the Egg is down, and the Chronosphere. This is their time if they want to challenge.
They're actually going to go. Deuce is back up in 10. They don't kill the Roche fast enough. They're going to position themselves on high ground. Maybe try to kill somebody, catch someone off guard.
Krylat just running up the no vision area. Oh my god.
Feels confident because he saw how low Snapfire was and Dusa was still dead.
Aeon Disc now picked up for Yamich.
No ults available, really, now on the side of PuckChamp. So Winstrike, I think you just group up, smoke, run into the Roche Pit. If they come at you, then you take the fight now.
Got 10 seconds for these kisses. Cheshire Cat's going to have the arena up in a moment.
I'm still surprised they could even bring down the Medusa the once. That was quite impressive.
And Tolman turning around the corner here. Does walk right into this void immediately. Time walk away. I'll take down the warding around the pit. Krylat's still in position. He doesn't have that Chronosphere, though.
Gesture?
Sure here. Pincer-ring action coming out, though, from the side of PuckChamp. Cheshire Cat's going to just show himself. He's going to get whacked around a little bit here by Mr. Roshan.
They're buying time for their ults. Exorcism's back up in 5 seconds. Winstrike.
27 seconds until that chrono. Melee sitting patiently, as is Dekalis. It's all going to come down to who can hit those buttons faster, boys. Sunray coming out. Oh, the jump forward here from Cheshire Cat. It doesn't finish, but they'll follow up, and there it is. There's those Mortimer kisses getting tossed into the backline. Dekalis immediately just taken out of the fight here. Stonegaze is coming out. If you manage to get the stun up over on the backline, should be able to go and take down Melees. And Desperate's chasing over here, but look how tanky Dota2 is. Look how tanky. Like, Astral can't do anything. They just turn right back around. They'll go and Stonegaze up, and they'll be able to get the kill over onto Astral. Desperate now running for his life. Krylat going down in the backline. Sapantaman during all of that. And look at this. Desperate is actually just so desperate right now, trying to survive. The stun comes out. Look at this damage. Oh my goodness.
Shredded. They got a fortunate first situation where they got the Medusa completely isolated with a full Egg, Sunray, everything in the first fight, but this time, Dekalis gets stunned, and look at Yamich. Watch this stun. Oh, beautiful. Nice play from the Lion there. They full out combo the Phoenix. Let's watch it. Bring it back one more time. Absolutely.
Tiny
Very
ravage.
nice.
You love to see it.
Yeah, super nice. And they both get stone gazed as well. The Fear comes out and does push this Medusa away, but actually pushes her onto high ground. And then Desperate, as you said, desperately walks up the high ground into a Scotty Medusa, asking for some pain.
But you look at Astral and he's got the full bedlam. He can't do anything to her. Just turns around immediately. Just gets blown up here.
Yeah, it doesn't do much to a Medusa at this point in the game. As to the high ground with an Aegis now, should be a clear path to victory. Even though the one slip up, PuckChamp got a little bit lucky with the way that they did get the grab this time around. Not going to be the case. Chrono is up. They've got the egg.
But do they have the damage?
I don't think so, especially not to Aegis now. They get the once, but the once seems like it's going to be the only one after that laning phase.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Winstrike, though, going to play it safe. They'll make their way over to the bottom tower. Start putting out that damage as well. And look at Dota2. He's just so confident.
Yeah, the boss.
Gets
AC
dragged back here. The immediate sidestep not quite fast enough here for Rabel, but they turn all their attention to Cheshire Cat jumping onto the backlines. Kryla, look at this. He can't even take down this Lina. Doesn't manage to eventually get stalled into place over on the back line. So Dota2 gets that stone gaze off. They just turn right back around. Desperate is just getting shredded here with all of the hits coming out from Dota2. Melee's following up again. They do have the control here for this. Oh, the finger coming out. Desperate over onto the back lines. The Spirit Siphon. Desperate is dead. Now they're going to chase right off. Yavich has been on point here. Manages to go get the finger off. They end up blowing up Astral.
Yep, this time they can't. Even though they did get the Sunray actually pretty decently on top, but it's not enough damage. And there's still an Aegis they had to go through, and Rebel, he's too tanky. As you said, AC, he gets the cheese off too, stands his ground, takes a sip of his drink. He says, okay, thank you,